parents, learning to ride a bike, being on the beach, and things like that. I love your suit, you look great. And which is, all have been some of my favourite memories as well. However, when I first started doing these shows, which was, well, by the time I finished it, would be 2 years, which was wild. 2 years, right? And well, actually, this was supposed to be, how do you say penultimate? This was supposed to be my penultimate weekend, because next week was supposed to be the end of the residency. But trust me, typical old me, got sick, didn't I? So I had to reschedule some shows, so those are now in October and November. But when I first started this residency, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to tell a different memory every single show. Which, for show 1, was a great idea. Show 88, not so much. So I definitely have repeated a couple of memories here or there without meaning to, though, not realising. And I am starting to really scrape the barrel with some of my memories because it's hard to remember all of them, and I try not to pre-plan them because I don't feel like that's very sincere. I want to try and things that happen to me in the week or on the day, I want things to sort of prompt me what they might be. So sometimes nothing happens to me. Prompt's a good one. But before we come on stage, me and the band, we huddle together and we sort of all put our hands in. I guess it's like, remember behind the music, you think you know but you don't. That kind of stuff used to be on MTV or VH, whatever fucking channel it was, I don't know, it was the best. Now we don't have anything like that anymore, which is just depressing, and everyone wants to be on fucking TikTok. But it looks like you're basically in a prayer circle, but that's all what we're doing. Although maybe some of us are, I'm not. And every show, one of us is the one that leads the sort of oi oi. And today it was one of my backup singers, Katie, and I don't know what made, well, that was it. She said that was exactly what prompted her. So I'm going to start walking around in a minute and singing a song to you, right? And then when I hit the big note, I went up to this boy, he's maybe 23, maybe even 19, actually. That's very specific, between 18 and 25, so. And I gave him the microphone to sing with him, and he was one of the worst singers we've had. But an absolute sweetheart. And somehow he managed to get hold of my head and plant a kiss on me, and it was wild because no one's ever done that to me before. But he was an absolute sweetheart. But obviously my band right now, they can't see us. They can't see any of us. So they're behind the screen, the door's closed, right? Because the fires magically go disappear. So the doors are closed. And so they can't see anything to what they can hear. So all they heard was this guy last night singing very out of tune and being very excited. Which prompted her to tell and remind us that when I was last doing my shows, which was not these shows, a tour, which was many moons ago, it was 2016 and 17. You were there? I loved that show, it was amazing. But so for those of you that were there, rather than choose, by the way, the reason I didn't pick anyone to come and say hi to and ask questions was because I spent most of this residency sick, and I don't really leave my house, so I've managed to finally put it together, but I think I'm getting sick from the people that I had in this at my show. So it's not that I don't love you, you just might be sick and not know about it, and I'll be damned if I have to cancel any more fucking shows. Driving me crazy. Anyway, so, but on my last tour, I used to invite people up onto my stage. And I would chat away with them and things like that. And she remembered somebody in Lisbon, which was probably, no offence to whatever show you guys came to, but was the best show of that tour, because I'd never been, and I don't know, it's something like the Portuguese, fuck me, they're so passionate, it's crazy. So it was the loudest, highest high-energy show that I have ever to this day done. The only other place that rivals it is obviously Mexico, of course. Prayer circle thing, that I called up a boy who was on crutches. Now, I was like, it does sound like me to find a kid that's on crutches to try and climb over a barrier and get on the stage, but she was like, no, he was wearing crutches, but he managed to get up the stage. And I remember there was another time this guy came up, it was in Europe somewhere, and he was very excited, and he was sort of trying to kiss my cheek, and I turned, and then we ended up kissing on the screen like this. It was wild. I'm quite convinced he was probably gay. I was a married woman at the time, it was sensational. And it reminded me, and I said, I remember I met this man that brought a dog up on the stage, and then I gave the dog a kiss. I mean, I'm surprised I wasn't getting sick at all those fucking shows as well. But it just reminded, I've been thinking about it ever since she said it before we came on, and there were so many times. I remember there was a woman at Glastonbury when I headlined Glastonbury. And I pulled her up. I pulled her up and she couldn't speak a word of English and she couldn't understand me. And it was about 220,000 people in front of her, so I totally understand why she shat herself, because I was shitty. But then she wouldn't say anything, and I couldn't figure out what language to at least try and speak or ask somebody, you know, if they knew what to say. But it was fun, and it just gave me fond memories of that tour when I would spot someone there to bring on stage rather than here I used to spot someone and come talk to them. But anyway, I told you I might be scraping the barrel, but that is my memory. And my 88th show was